अस्सलाम वालेकुम व्यूवर्स, उम्मीद है आप सब खैरियत से होंगे। तो आज का हमारा टॉपिक है हिस्ट्री ऑफ पाकिस्तान। This section presents the history of Pakistan from the partition of British India 1947 to the present. For a discussion of the earlier history of the region, see India. Background to partition. The call for establishing an independent Islamic state on the Indian subcontinent can be traced to a 1930 speech by Sir Muhammad Iqbal, a poet philosopher and at the time president of the All India Muslim League after Pakistan independence shortened to Muslim League. It was his argument that the four northwestern provinces and regions of British India, Sindh, Balochistan, Punjab and Northwest Frontier Province, now Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, should one day be joined to become a free and independent Muslim state. The limited character of this proposal can be judged from its geographic rather than demographic dimensions. Iqbal's Pakistan included only those Muslims residing in the Muslim majority areas in the northwestern quadrant of the subcontinent. It ignored the millions of other Muslims living throughout the subcontinent, and it certainly did not take into account the Muslim majority of Bengal in the east. Moreover, Iqbal's vision did not reflect the interest of others outside the Muslim League seeking liberation from colonial rule, and it did not conform to ideas reflected in Islamic expressions that spoke a single Muslim community or people, explaining in no small way why many other Muslim leaders, Abdul Ghaffar Khan and later Khizr Hayat Khan, were less than enthused with this proposal. Also missing at the time was a name to describe such as a South Asian country where Muslims would be masters of their own density. That task fell to Chaudhry Rahmat Ali, a young Muslim student studying at Cambridge in England, who best captured the point politician yearnings in the single word Pakistan in a 1933 pamphlet. Now or never, Rahmat Ali and three Cambridge colleagues coined the name as an for Punjab, Afghania, Northwest Province, Kashmir, and Inner Sindh, combined with the Stan suffix from Balochistan. It was later pointed out that when translated from Urdu, Pakistan could also mean land of the pure. The Muslim League and Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Long before the British invaded and seized control of the subcontinent, Muslim armies had conquered the settled population in the rolling flat land that stretches from the foothills of the Hindu Kush to the city of Delhi and the Indo-Gangetic Plain and eastward to Bengal. The last and most successful of the Muslim conquerors was the Mughal dynasty, which eventually spread its authority over virtual the entire subcontinent. British superiority consequent the Mughal decline and following a period of European successes and Mughal failures on the battlefield, the British brought an end to Mughal power. The last Mughal emperor was exiled following the failed Indian maturity less than 3 decades after the revolt. The Indian National Congress was formed to give political representations to British India people. Although membership in the Congress was open to all Hindu participants, overwhelmed the Muslim members. The All India Muslim League, organized in 1906, aimed to give Muslim a voice so as to counter what was then perceived as the growing influence of Hindus under British rule. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, earlier a prominent Muslim member of the Congress, assumed leadership of the League following his break with Congress leader Muhammad a firm believer in the Anglo-Saxon rule of law and close associate of Iqbal Jinnah and questioned the security of Muslim minority in an India dominated by essentially Hindu authority, declaring Islam was endangered by revived Hindu assertiveness. Jinnah and the League posited a two-nation theory. They argued Indian Muslims were entitled to and therefore required a separate self-governing state in the reconstituted subcontinent. The British intention to grant self-government to India along the lines of British parliamentary democracy is evident in the Government of India Act of 1935. Up to that time, the question of Hindus and Muslims sharing in the governance of India was generally acceptable. It was also knowledge that Hindus more so than Muslims has accommodated themselves to British customs and the colonial manner of administration. Moreover, following the failed Indian maturity, Hindus were more eager to adopt British behaviors and ideas, whereas Indian Muslims bore the brunt of British war. The Mughal Empire was formally dissolved in 1858 and its last ruler of banished from the subcontinent, believing they had been singled out for punishment. India's Muslim population was reluctant to adopt British ways to take advantage of English educational opportunities. As a consequence of these different positions, Hindus advanced under British rule at the expense of their Muslim counterparts. And when Britain opened the civil service to the native population, the Hindus virtually monopolized the postings out of influential Muslims such as Sayyid Ahmad Khan, recognized the growing power imbalance and encouraged Muslims to seek European education and entry in the colonial civil services. They also realized that catching up to the more progressive and advantageous Hindus was an impossible task. It was of an emerging feeling of Hindu and a sustained sense among Muslims of inferiority that the All India Muslim League addressed in its claim to represent the Muslim of India. Unlike other Muslim movements of the period, the Muslim League the of the attention and the same time more moderate elements among India's Muslim population. The Muslim League with Jinnah as its spokesman was also the preferred organization from the standpoint of British authority. Unlike Gandhi's practices of civil, the lawyer Jinnah, who was called to the bar of London, was more inclined to promote the rule of law in seeking separation from imperial rule. Jinnah therefore was more open to negotiated settlement, and indeed his first intent was to preserve the unity of India with adequate safeguards for the Muslim community. For Jinnah, the Lahore later Pakistan resolutions of 1940, which called for an independent Muslim state or states in India, did not at first imply the breakup of the Indian Union. World War II. World War II 1939 to 1945 proved to the catalyst for an change in political power under pressure from a variety of popular national movements, those organized by the Congress and led by Gandhi. The war weakened British were forced to consider India. In response to the Congress campaign that Britain quit India, London set a mission headed by Sir Richard Stafford Cripps, the Cripps Mission, to New Delhi in early 1942 with the promise that Congress corrections in the war effort would be rewarded with greater self-rule and possibly even independence. When the war ended, Gandhi and the other Congress leaders, however, could be and their insistence the Britain allow for a transfer of power while the the war raged produced an impasse and the failure of the mission. During that period, the Jinnah-led Muslim League was substantially less aggressive in seeking immediate British withdrawal. The differences between the two groups were not lost in Britain, and eventual defeat of Germany and Japan set the scene for the drama that resulted in the partition of British India and the independence of Pakistan. The new post-war Labour Party government of Clement Attlee succeeding